learn from my masterclass when today the internet provides us with so many beginner classes already? Good question. Well, the reason is experience. At 33 years of age today, I have been teaching and coaching for well over 15 years now, learning and developing my own teaching methods throughout the years, growing to a point where I got my students to travel and compete and win events over the whole world, all from scratch, coming from a small country most people never heard of. That's why you want to learn from my masterclass. And this masterclass is divided into multiple sections: history, knowledge, tons of top rocks, blow-ups, footwork, freezes, power moves, all at beginner's level and all very well explained by your man Coach Sambo. This masterclass is basically 2 years of breaking knowledge, all squeezed together smoothly in a 70-minute video. So if you're just starting out with breaking, then the Coach Sambo Beginner's Masterclass is made for you. You can find this masterclass alongside many others on my website, CoachSambo.com. Peace! What's up, losers? My name's Kyle, and in this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to be f***ing extreme.
Hello everybody, my name is Jean-Bernard. Well, actually, it's Jean-François Bernard de la Duchesse. Also, the B-boy called me B-boy JB, so you can look for me on the Instagram, especially if you are the cute girl.
Hello everyone, my name is Steve. I'm on the streets of Basingstoke, they call me Steven. In this very unconventional tutorial, I'll show you guys how to drop down to the floor by using a minimum amount of energy necessary.
Guten Tag everyone, my name is Chris. And today in this video I will show you how to make the handstand with the spritzen.
Hello and buongiorno, my name is Giovanni, and B-boys make for me the name G-Style because of the Giovanni. And in this tutorial I will show you how to make it beautiful the windmill.
And that's how to break dance.
She is teaching 152,000 people how to do floor work or footwork. I don't even know anymore, you know what I mean? Like, all right, I really want to read some of these comments real quick.
Let's start 2021 with a bang. Coach Sambo group sessions on Zoom are now open for registration. But what does this all mean? It all starts by going to my website, CoachSambo.com, and checking out the available classes that are coming up. Select the classes you want to attend and then get your ticket. Once the ticket has been purchased, you'll receive an email with the Zoom link, giving you access to the class when the time comes. Classes are limited to 30 people at the moment, so make sure you act fast if you want to join. And once the class has started, I will be giving participants an hour-and-a-half training session with very clear exercises, tips, and most important of all, feedback. And that's why these sessions are going to be so productive and amazing as I scan throughout the screens looking for people to take to that next level. Interested? Head on over to my website and look throughout the different classes and make sure you fit the recommendations for that specific class. Now, before attending one of my classes, it's really important for you to watch the instructional video that you can find on the website or in the description right here under this video. These instructions will make sure that we don't waste time so we can get straight to work and make the class as productive as possible. No classes that fit your need? Just send me a message on Instagram telling me what classes you think are a good idea, and if the requests on this are high, I just might add an extra class to the calendar. So I hope to see you real soon in one of my online Zoom group sessions, because at the end of the day, my good friends, when you think about it, it's just all about that B-boy shit. What's up guys, this is your boy Coach Sambo right here, and today in this video we're going to check out my top 10 B-boy showcases
Ever.
trouble going from a windmill to an air flare?
Whoa, how did you know, bro?
Well, I have really great news for you because I will be showing you the smartest and most efficient way for you to learn that combo. So if you want to be able to go from a windmill to a 90 or a windmill to an air flare or a windmill to whatever, just head on over to my YouTube channel, look for the windmill to handstand tutorial, and start putting in the work. And besides the windmill to handstand tutorial, you will find tons of other tutorials and breaking videos. So why waste time?
Take yourself to the next level.
Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, it's all about that B-boy shit. Air flare exercises. That's right. After 15 years of coaching and teaching tons of kids how to perform air flares, with the help of 2 of my finest students, I've gathered 100 of the most important air flare exercises that we use to help speed up the process of learning air flares. This video is divided in 6 different parts. Part 1 are air flare preparation exercises. Part 2 is tons of different walkover exercises designed to help you get more comfortable and work on your form. Part 3 are exercises adding your hop to the air flare, boosting up your confidence and control. In part 4, I give you exercises on how to lower your air flare, which a lot of people are asking for. Part 5 is a section dedicated just for elbow air flare. And then finally, the last part of this video are going to be complex air flare variations, playing with your levels and creating different variations with your air flare. So if you're working on your air flare, this air flare masterclass is exactly what you need. This video is available for purchase on my website. So head on over to CoachSambo.com so you can take yourself to that next level. Peace!
You're going to bring it forward and back. Try that again.
I'm not gonna lie, this could be really dope. That CC kick up. I like that, man. I bet you, Robin from Top 9, you would actually, you know, he could transform that into something really sick.
And that's how to break dance.
What's up, guys? This is your boy Coach Sambo. I have great news for you. That's right, my air chair tutorial is now online. In this video, we're gonna check out the easiest way to learn the tap mill. Coming up. Started breaking? Well, I got some great news because I have just released my new masterclass for beginners, packed with moves and full of the best tips and tricks for beginners, simplified to a point where any... All right, check 1, 2. What's up, guys? This is your man Coach Sambo right here, and we are now live because I have managed to gather 30 minutes of free and spare time to, you know, to jump on the live stream right here really quick. So yeah, what's up? Hope you guys are doing fine. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching from. Let me know where you're watching this from because we are live. This is not a pre-recorded or edited video right here. This is your man Coach Sam doing another live stream. It's been a while. Hope you guys are doing great. So what's up, guys? In this video, we're gonna be looking at BBoy Funt from Powermove Consipracy representing Russia. And you know, I've been following this guy on Instagram for a while. I know this guy for a while, right? I've always been a big fan of BBoy Funt, but lately he's been dropping some very, very interesting videos on his Instagram. And you know, I thought it was worth talking about because he's doing so much original stuff, and it's really good to watch just to get inspired, not necessarily to do whatever he's doing, but it's just good to open your mind and see whatever's possible and see how many things haven't been done or invented yet, because this B-boy game is freaking infinite, isn't it? So yeah, what's up, guys? This is your man Coach Sambo right here. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel yet, well, you know, if you would subscribe, what would you get in return? Then you would get a lot of B-boy tutorials, and you would stay up to date every time I upload a new video, which is something that might be pretty cool. Increasing volume now. Give me a second. Check 1 2. Check check check. Chidi check 1 2. Powermove from Russia. Powermove. Check 1 2. Powermove. Hope you guys are having a great time. Hope you guys are having a great day. And by that I mean I hope you guys are having a productive day. All right. So you might be chilling and hanging about, but as long as you're being productive and doing some productive stuff, thinking about your training and stuff like that, that's definitely pretty cool. All right, so I hope the volume is all right, and I hope you can understand me. And here and there, because BBoy Funt is from Russia, I will here and there maybe use a little bit of Russian accent if you don't mind. I hope that nobody is gonna get offended by me using a Russian accent, because you know, I'm not American neither, but I'm talking with an American accent. So here we go. Let's check out BBoy Funt and whatever he's been cooking up these few days on his Instagram. So first of all, if you're not following the guy yet, here we go. Powermove Conspiracy. Check it out on Instagram. Definitely follow, because a lot of crazy stuff going on this Instagram, a lot of original stuff, and we're gonna be breaking that down right now. We're gonna be checking out what he's actually doing. Now, what is Powermove Conspiracy? Is it a crew? Is it a school? Is it like just an Instagram account? Is it a state of mind? I have no idea what Powermove Conspiracy is, but I want in. I want to be part of the Powermove Conspiracy. So let's just look at this first combo right here by my man BBoy Funt. And I just, this was actually the main reason why I said, hey, you know what? I got to do a little video or a live stream about this, because this is just so freaking original, so fresh. Going from an air flare, placing that foot on the floor, and the way he places that foot on the floor, it's like a little bit sideways, and then he spins in the opposite direction. But what's really dope about this, guys, is that, like, even though he twists and changes direction in the power move, there's still like a flow to it, and that's what's kind of like mind bending in a way. I was gonna say mind effing, but I can't beep out all the swears. I love to swear on my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel, by the way, if you're just tuning in. So awesome concept right here. And it's hard to actually pinpoint how he discovered this or how he actually created this. I'm trying to get BBoy Funt to do a live stream with me so we can ask him these questions, because this is just freaking awesome, man. It just gets to show also that you can, when you're looking at power moves, right? Most of the time, most power moves are done with your legs and feet in the air, which makes the power move, right? Except for like tap mills and swipes. But he's just showing us basically that even when your legs do hit the floor and you do kind of choose the easier route, it still looks freaking dope. And that's why I just love this stuff, man. His Instagram is full of this stuff, and that's why we just gotta break it down. It's just so unique, it's so awesome. So, what he just did right there was so freaking hard. I can't do it because I didn't really train my freezes on both sides back in the day, even though I am trying to figure it out now, but I got a little older. So he does his air flare to air flare, and then he goes down to his turtle or baby freeze on that landing hand, which is the invert 90 hand. And that's pretty hard by itself. And then again, pushes himself off with two hands, lands on that foot again, creating that, that fluidity, that originality, and visually, it just looks so freaking dope. But the thing is, what you got to keep in mind is doing stuff like this is already kind of hard to practice. Never mind doing this kind of stuff in battle. If you're doing this kind of stuff in battle, it's extra hard. Why? Because you know what I mean? It's hard to really execute it that clean, especially under pressure doing a battle. Boom. And then that little leg switch, and then just hit straight back into air flare with a nice and clean 2000 right there. Yo, so dope, so fresh. Let's look at it one more time. Flare, air flare, inwards, turtle freeze, hop to 1 foot, foot switch, and then basically enters into his air flare like he does with a swipe. Dope. So this is also very interesting because when he does that little transition, it's basically kind of like almost a baby love, right? It's heading towards footwork. which is also a really good concept to take in if you're training power moves and you're working on power moves and you're lacking power move creativity. You know, look at BBoy Funt right here, because he's incorporating, you know, footwork steps, footwork little, you know, transitions and concepts within the power move, still making it flow. So the way he positions his feet and all that, and the way he uses his legs and the speed and the momentum, it just all fits together. And you know, after that he does like a little stretch air flare with his legs on the floor as well. So we have the baby love kind of transition, goes into these kind of barrel mill windmills, and then yeah, basically you could call that a swipe variation, right? A swipe variation with both legs stretched, like kind of leaning on his heels. Definitely dope. So the baby love transition right here, and then from the windmill pushes himself up like he would do to go to an air flare or to a swipe, and then continues the combo like that. Definitely so dope. Original Russian Soviet Union power moves. It's crazy. Why are these Russian guys so extreme? I've always been asking myself that. Now you see, guys, I haven't been watching these videos in advance to like prepare this video. I'm just, you know, looking at what I'm seeing and reacting to it. Yo, man, that transition, like it's a power move by itself, right? It's kind of like let's just say a shoulder spin. What is that? Windmill. It's a shoulder spin, guys. It's a shoulder spin, having that foot stuck to his arm, but it doesn't. That's the thing, right? It's already fresh by itself, but look at that. He just transitions out of it with a thread, making it so fluid. So amazing to watch. Yo, I've always been a big fan of Funt, but you know, with these latest videos he's dropping right now, I'm just becoming more of a fan. We're not even looking at the air flare to like invert hops. You know, that's not even important at this point. What the important thing is just that originality, man. It's hard to be original with power move, guys. It's hard. But if BBoy Funt can knock out these 200 and videos with original stuff, you're damn right there's more stuff to be invented. And that's where you guys come in, right? Because you guys have to contribute to this b-boy game and create your own stuff. And hopefully this video is going to inspire you a little bit. So I like, out of the 4 combos we've seen already, this one right here, this one is my favorite. Just that little shoulder spin with the foot sticking to the arm right there. Crispy. So fresh, so crispy. All right, what's next? One-handed air flip to swipe. Wow. So simple in a way, but wow, he's not even done. Yo, let's just talk about that real one-handed air flare and just landing it so perfectly, but then simplifying the idea, guys, to just combining it to a swipe. Like, how did no one ever come up with that? And what the hell is that? What the hell is that? Is secret Soviet weapon. You know, that's what you could call it, right? So one-handed, so let me just try and really break down what's going on. One-handed air flare to swipe. Swipe to air flare. Taps his foot on the floor, does an arm switch, and when he switches that arm, he places it in like a baby freeze, side baby freeze kind of position or angle right there. But again, he manages to keep that fluidity, which, you know, it keeps it stays power move because there's a certain flow to it, even though it is really complex. You know, it's complex in a way, but still it's so simplified when he's executing it that, you know, it's in between complex and simple. And that's what you want. That's what you want. That's what this breaking game is made for. You got to create that crazy stuff, make it look simple. Again, you know, when you're doing these kind of things, it takes a lot of experience, a lot of control to execute things like this in battle, guys. I'm not gonna lie. That is some amazing stuff right there. Hey, shout out to everybody right here chilling in the chat right here. What's up, guys? It's your man Coach Sambo. If you haven't subscribed to this BBoy channel right here, then definitely subscribe, because then you will get spammed every time I upload a new video. And you might like that, or you might not like that. But anyway, subscribe. What's up, Artur? Yeah, shout out to Flexaholic. That's also a really interesting guy we could watch and break down, because Flexaholic is doing a lot of original stuff as well. Shout out to my man Erky Turkey. Shout out to Stab Music, aka Liam. Shout out to Jacob. Hey, really great to have you guys tune in. I'm not gonna make this a too long video, so let me just dive straight back into Funt right here. Switch on over to the next combo. Boom. Again, if you know what Powermove Conspiracy is it a crew? Is it a state of mind? Is it a school? Is it a YouTube channel? Is it an Instagram channel? I don't know what it is. But anyways, it's pretty dope. And as I said before in the beginning of this live stream or video, I want in, boys. I want in. All right, so this is a signature by my man Funt. He was the first guy to do this. So basically what it is, guys, it's a 1.5 windmill. 1.5 windmill to Airflare 1.5. And I seen him do this before. He's been doing it for a while, but I never saw him do it to a 1.5 Airflare, and I never saw him do it in that long of a combo, which is definitely dope. Really original move. I see some people do it now. You know, some Russian kids are doing the 1.5 windmill to air power for the at the moment, which is, I tried it, guys. Not gonna lie, I tried it. It's freaking hard. It's freaking hard, guys. Like, I didn't manage to pull it off. So Airflare to windmill, 1.5 windmill to 1.5 Airflare, and then the second combo right here is an Airflare to a one-handed Airflare, then back to Airflare windmill, Airflare flare, and then again that 1.5 windmill to Airflare, and then popping out, doing an Airflare cancel, landing on his feet. Definitely freaking dope. So what's this? Why is there a dog here? These Russian guys are on another planet, man. So he's battling his dog. That was it. All right. You know, I'm gonna give it a like. Just, you know, because, you know, that's Funt's dog, bro. You gotta respect Funt's dog, man. No doubt about that. Wow. You saw that? So that really cool looking go down was definitely dope. A lot of stuff in here. Let's try and pinpoint what he actually does. So basically it's a flare go down, the same way you would execute a flare, right? But then halfway through that flare, and these are things you want to like remember, guys. Halfway through that flare, he doesn't do a flare, but he just locks in that leg in between, you know, in between that thread position while he grabs his head. Drops into windmill that way, which makes it an original entry. Goes up to Airflare, this like Superman kind of windmill with a foot grab. Looks really dope, by the way. I've seen him do it in other videos as well, but it's just so well executed. And then 1.5 Airflare. So one more time, flare go down, locks in the legs, goes from windmill to Airflare, does this Superman windmill with a grab, and then a windmill Airflare 1.5 straight out of it. Again, another dope combo by Russian Powermove legend BBoy Funt from Powermove Conspiracy. So Munch to open Airflare, drops down to inverted air chair, kind of like into a Hong 10, threads it, and then uses the headstand to go back up to Airflare. Guys, this goes deep, and it's not even done yet. He does the Airflare, and he taps behind his freaking head, and then another Airflare to his feet, which people call an Airflare cancel. I would love to make a tutorial about the Airflare cancel. I kind of like can do it, but it's really hard. So this right here, this is unbelievable. Drops down one-handed, inverted, threads, gets that perfect transition back to air power. Absolutely beautiful. Taps behind his head right there. And I didn't know if you noticed, but there's like a little hop in between. He taps behind his head, does another extra hop, you know, just to piss us off, basically, right? Just to show off that he has crazy, amazing skill level. I haven't seen this one before. It's absolutely amazing. I will give that one a like from supporting. So look, tap behind the head, boom, gives it a little hopperoo, puts himself well into position to then exit with the flare, air flare cancel. Yo, this guy is on another level. Yo, if you're not following this guy on Instagram, follow him ASAP. ASAP, my good friends. Next video, Mr. Funt, please. Ooh, okay, so we saw that earlier on, and now we get we get it in loop. That looks pretty freaking dope, man. Ooh, and some good editing work right there. Powermove, Consipracy. Air flare, places his foot, does an arm switch, places that arm very, very strategically strategically into that side freeze position. No biting, guys, no biting. Even though I would love to bite this, but I can't. And I also do it on the other side. So I really can't. Hope you guys are having a great day. If you're just tuning in right here, welcome to Coach Sambo's YouTube B-Boy Breakdance Cool channel. And we're checking out BBoy Funt from Powermove Consipracy from Russia. And we know we're just breaking down some combos right here, even though some combos are a little random, like this one right here. Yeah, a little routine with the dog. The dog's like not even caring about what he's doing. He's like, oh, I got the donut. The dog thinks he's just victorious. But at the end of the day, it's Funt who's victorious with that coin drop to air flare. In the freaking woods, man. In the freaking woods. Probably no warm up. And it's probably like 2 degrees in Russia, like at that time. Yeah, pretty dope. Pretty dope. Air flare. 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. Drill, drill, drill. Amazing balance, amazing control, amazing technique, amazing power move Consipracy. Nothing left to be said. So not that original right here, but look, little Malish is liking this. Little Malish is like, hey, not bad, kid. But of course, Funt is an OG, man. Malish is definitely showing respect to Funt. So 1.5 windmill to flare. And again, air flare cancel at the end. So what's good to know, if we're breaking down this move right here, the 1.5 windmill to flare, to air flare, to whatever, right? It needs a good leg pump. If you want to try this move, I could definitely recommend you to learn how to go from a windmill to handstand first. And, you know, get like good bounce out of your windmill. Which is kind of sad that I can't do this, because it's kind of like my strong point, right? Doing windmills and bouncing out of windmills and doing things. But yet I should try this again, man. And if I would manage to do it, I'll put it on my Instagram and I'll give Funt a big shout out. Just, you know, just making sure he knows about it, that I don't go walking around telling people it's my move. Because it's not. It's Funt's move. He was the first one to do it almost 10 years ago. No joke, guys. 10 years ago he's been doing this. By the way, if you're asking yourself what I'm drinking right here, it's Powermove juice. It's blood from B-Boy Pocket. I drink his blood for making my power move stronger, better. Meanwhile, I do not know what happened right here in this. It's nothing, right? It's just like a promo thing. Next. So that Superman grab mill again. Looks hard though, man, because you got to do 2 things at the same time. You got to grab that foot and you got to have that arm stretched out. And you got to make sure that you keep that speed. And it's pretty hard to build speed like that. By the way, this kind of floor, guys, is the floor you want to get for your power moves. You want to invest in those puzzle mats, which is going to be about 150 bucks if you want to get a decent amount, you know, like a decent surface, you know, like at least 3-on-3 or maybe 4 meters by 4 meters. And then you want to get like a piece of linoleum on that just to make it like nice and smooth for your power moves. If you don't have this kind of training floor yet, Yo, talk with your training friends, crew members, students, teachers, and get this kind of floor, because this floor, I learned a lot just by getting this kind of floor. I learned like my double windmills, and I learned like stuff. I learned a lot of stuff on that kind of floor thanks to that kind of floor. Definitely something you wanna get. Not gonna lie. Flare to air flare, flare to air flare, 90 to flare to air flare, invert 90, air flare flare, 90, air flare, flare. Very clean basic power. And I think Funt is like kind of my age, right? He's kind of like somewhere in the 30s, I believe. And you know, a lot of people might think, hey, you can't do this kind of stuff once you pass 30 something. But bro, like, I got a friend of mine, his name is Erky Turkey. He was watching, we're still watching right now. Bro, the guy is almost 40. You will never understand how good he's still at power moves, even though he's almost pushing 40. Like, he's gonna smoke most 20-year-olds in power moves, no lie. And he's just learning his like air flare right now. Like, he just learned his air flare right now. He's doing like 4 or 5 air flares, nice and clean, nice and open. Bro, there's no age limit to this stuff, man. And Funt right here showing us that exact example, but nothing really to break down right there. Air flare, wow. Again, simplicity. You know, it's okay to put your feet on the floor when doing power moves. It's okay, just as long as you keep that fluidity and you create an effect that is visually appealing to the human eye. You know what I mean? So what does he actually do? So he's definitely incorporating some kind of bridge and shoulder flexibility. So he goes air flare, and when he lands on that third hand, has the way I teach it, right, in my air flare tutorial, he lands on that third hand in like kind of a pike, but he lets those legs like fall backwards, and that's how he catches that bridge. And then from that bridge, he transitions on over to his shoulder. I do believe that if he would experiment a little more on this, that the transition out of the bridge could definitely be a little deeper, if you know what I mean. But nevertheless, that is a good looking combo. There was fluidity, there's style, there's creativity, you know, and it's Powermove conspiracy. All right, let's do like 5 more, right? 5 more. So, oh, again, we get that, like, let's just call it the stretched out leg heel swipe. Because it's basically a swipe, right? Putting both heels on the floor and then transitioning back into windmill. Cool little swipe variation right there. I don't know if he agrees, if he would call it a swipe variation. That's why I would love to talk to him about these kind of combos, man. I'd love to do this live stream again, but with Funt joining me right here next to me, so we can ask him all these questions and see what he does for creativity, right? How does he manage to create so many cool stuff with his power moves? All right, so I believe he goes one-handed from that windmill. Oh no, he doesn't. So it's windmill to a banana air flare, basically. But what makes this effect pretty cool, if you ask me, is he's taking his, like, there's other b-boys doing banana air flares out there, right? But what makes this pretty cool is that he takes that banana form before he's actually hitting the air flare. I don't know if I can't play it in slow motion for you guys, but look, he pushes up, and when he's standing on that 90 hand, or on his, you know, basically his hand he uses to push himself off for the air flare, he's already kind of like twisting those legs, creating that, let's just call it a little scoop. He does that scoop before the air flare, which makes the air flare harder for him to execute. But the effect is truly original. Very, very original. Very, very appealing to the human eye. Love it. B-Boy Kid Black. B-Boy Kivo is a prime example of another older B-Boy who maintains his dopeness. Yo, I love Kevo, man. Like, I love Kevo. I want to feature him at some point. I gotta make maybe a video about just Kevo, right? Why not? So a few B-boys do it already, so you can't bite. No, I'm not gonna bite. I ain't even gonna bite shit, man. I ain't gonna bite nothing. No. I'm too old to bite. So it looks like he's gonna fly at some point. Oh, wow. So, wow. You know, I haven't seen this one neither. Let me just hit that like button right now. Yeah, bro. Airflare. So, Airflare, and then he goes to the windmill in the opposite direction. And it's kind of like a... Yeah, he just uses strength for that transition. But the transition right after that, when he goes from that windmill in the opposite direction back to his good direction swipe, there's fluidity to it. And that's what makes it so freaking sick. See, it rolls, he pushes off, but there's no point of, you know, twist and return. When people do power moves in both directions, there's always kind of like that stop and then that rewind moment, let's call it that, right? But how does he pull it off? Yeah, so there's a lot of physics involved in this kind of stuff, man. But again, bro, it just motivates me to like find some new stuff. And then after that swipe, he catches that swipe in an inverted turtle freeze, which is the hand most people don't really freeze on. You know, let's just say 80%. And after that swipe to inverted freeze, pushes up to 1.5 Airflare. Pretty easy, right? Not. But again, highlight of this combo right there is that windmill in one direction and without stopping that flow, continuing back into the other direction and doing that swipe, and then, you know, absolutely beautiful combo. Love it. Love it. I love his mustache. Makes him look like a pirate somehow. So what the hell is he doing, man? What the hell is this stuff, man? I gotta break this down, man. So backspin and then grabs his foot and rolls kind of over his butt. Yeah. So he grabs his foot, rolls over his butt, and then again, strategic, smart move, getting into that shoulder, popping into the headstand to then get the fluid motion back into Airflare. And then at the end, he goes out with a coin drop, the exit of a coin drop, but he does it without a bounce. He basically just stands on his head. You got to be flexible for that one. Also, what I get to notice right here is Funt has a very, very clean transition out of headstand into his like Airflares or air power or whatever, which gives him the opportunity to stick with me right here, right? Gives him the opportunity to do some complex stuff like he's doing right now, some original complex stuff, but as long as he ends up in like a headstand or probably some other position he's comfortable in, that's where he gets that transition back to traditional power moves. And that, you know, when you have these kind of like transition points, these smart transition moments, that's when you can start creating longer combos that are still safe enough and executable to do in battle or video or showcase or whatever you want to use it for, right? So just, you know, these kind of little information, you know, these little nuggets of information that you can extract from these kind of videos are ways to help yourself create that new original stuff. Because guys, I've been saying this in a lot of videos, that's what this B-boy game is all about. Like, we don't care how many windmills you can do. We don't care how many flares you can do. At some point, it is interesting to know how many air flares you can do. It is, you know, sometimes it is good to know. But at the end of the day, people don't want to see people do 80 air flares. We want to see you do some original stuff. And there's so much stuff that still has to be invented. Why? Because this B-boy game is infinite. In it. You know what I mean? 2 more videos. And then you have to check out the rest of the videos yourself. Munch air flare lands with one leg stretched out, and then he does like a swipe variation, something. So air flare. Okay, so this is really cool. This is so cool, bro. Why? Because when he lands that air flare, there's one leg stretched, but it's not the leg he's putting on the floor. So it kind of creates that illusion because he swings that leg. It's stretched, right? When he lands, he swings it, but then there's a leg switch. Boom, for that swipe. And it's not the traditional foot you would put on the floor for your swipe. It's the other foot. And kind of reminds me of a guy doing an air flare variation with his foot on the floor, which was kind of weird. It was kind of funny in a way. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but that's basically, he used to call it the air swipe, and then he does it again. See, I like this, but the thing is, guys, with these kind of things, like, the value, the originality value is so high that, you know, sometimes I do believe when executing these kind of things in battle, it doesn't get recognized very quick. And I think a lot of people just don't understand these kind of things. And I'm including judges, bro. I'm including some judges. You could, like, Funt could do this at a battle, and like the judges could totally look past it, you know, because it's just it can get kind of confusing, and it's really short as well. So that's the kind of like the downside. Like, you can do some real original stuff like my man right here, but I'm sure sometimes in battles, judges, you know, it doesn't get the appreciation that it should. Not gonna lie, guys, it's all about honesty these days, but it shouldn't stop you from doing original stuff and creating original stuff. You know, I know sometimes, you know, every generation in b-boying has their in moves, the moves that are in. Every generation has them. You know, back in the day, it was air chair. Everybody was doing air chair. Then, you know, for a while, it was like kind of tap mill. Everybody was doing some kind of move and landing into tap mill. You know, every generation has this. And you can follow that, and you can, you know, follow the rest. But I strongly recommend you not to do that, and just sometimes take in a few losses. You know, just be original. Take the losses in, and let that reinforce your confidence to boost up who you are. So one day people will finally get to understand your level of originality. Yo, if that's not a good freaking tip, then screw it. Last video. That's how he creates his original stuff. So this is really cool. I have one student. Shout out to Maflex. He can do this one. It's an inwards halo. Inwards halo is hard, guys. And most people that do inwards halo do it in the opposite direction, because a lot of people do it from like the baby freeze and then rewind and do like a inwards halo like that. It's very in. You know, some of you guys might do it. It's a very, you know, it's a very in move the last 2, 3, 4 years. But this is the hardest level. He's doing it in the right direction with his opposite hand, inwards, one-handed halo. Nice little free switch right there, flare to windmill, air flare, and then he's like, I got it. Let's do one more. Again with the dog. Why not? Again, the dog has no interest whatsoever in the moves that his master is doing. Well, what he does right there is, I think you could call it like a, I think some people call it like a donkey go down, like a half a twist into handstand, or a swipe go down. That could possibly be it as well. Let me know if you know the name of that. I don't have a specific name for it. I do teach it in one of my go down videos though, and I have no idea how I called it. Shout out to the dog, man. Shout out to the dog. Smash that like button if you want to show respect to the dog, man. I'll make sure that he gets the likes. So again, Funt proving right here that it's okay to put your feet on the floor. It's okay to put your freaking feet on the floor. Once you've learned your basics, of course. Air flare, putting that foot on the floor, swinging the other leg around, and then connecting it back into windmill, and then connecting that windmill back into air flare, cancel. Good stuff, man. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna do one more because I like this. I like this, and I still have 45 minutes before my class starts. Flare. Ooh, original 90 right there, and he transitions it into air flare. And you know why I like this combo right here is because he does this transition one-handed. When you go from a 90 into air flare, in the beginning, the way you should learn it is like hit your 90, you know, place both hands on the floor, you know, correct yourself, get yourself well placed, then you can throw that air flare. That's the easiest way and the smartest way to learn it at first. Then you can do your 90, and then from your 90, just hit it straight into the air flare, which is a lot harder. You gotta have good air flares, you gotta have good 90s. But this is an original 90 right here. Well, he grabs his elbow. I love the form and the shape. And then he transitions one-handed into the next air flare, which is freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. All right, now is the last one. Now we're gonna hit that last one right here. Push start. What is this? What is this video? These Russians, man. It's a little random, not gonna lie, but guys, what would we be without randomness? I think that was Vados. The guy doing the walkover air flares, I think that was Vados. All right, so let's go to something we can actually break down. Ooh, finesse. Original. Again, one of those moves that if you do it in battle, people are not going to understand you. People are going to be like, oh, I can do that too. It's well executed in this video. But it's sad in a way, man, that these things are kind of underappreciated. And I hate that. I really don't like that. So what is he actually doing? What is he doing? Good question. So he basically starts out with a windmill, right? Starts out with a windmill, and he places, instead of placing his hand as you would normally do to catch that baby freeze, he's placing it here. And then from there, he glides with his head until he gets positioned into that turtle freeze. And that hand is kind of like reinforcing the glide and creating that crispy visual effect for us to enjoy right here. Again, there's fluidity to it. It stays within the Powermove concept and idea. And it just makes it look really sick. And then, by the way, from that turtle freeze, he pushes himself up to air flare, back to windmill, and then again does that glide. He's probably gonna have some crazy Russian names for this kind of stuff. And I don't know Russian, so I'm not gonna give any example right here. All right, guys, so this is it. This was it. Short little live stream, short little video right here just to break down Funt, give you guys some fresh inspiration for your power move trainings, because at the end of the day, guys, that's what it's all about. It's about you creating your own freaking stuff based off what other people have created. If you just tuned in right now, then you're a little late, but you can skip back. We've been breaking down amazing combos from BBoy Funt, representing Powermove Conspiracy. What is Powermove Conspiracy? I do not know. Is it a school? Is it a crew? Is it a state of mind? I don't know. I don't know, but I love it, and I want in. I want in. No joke. I want in. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got inspired by, you know, some kind of thing that you've been watching, something I've broken down. New videos coming, new masterclass coming, masterclass on how to prep for battle. And that, guys, is gonna be ahead of its time. This masterclass that is coming out, you might have seen it pop up a little bit on my Instagram story. It's called the Prep for Battle Masterclass. All the steps and all the secrets and all the rules of how to make that perfect set for battle. It's coming up. It's a lot of work, though, I'm not gonna lie. But a lot of stuff coming up. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys are looking forward for some new videos and some new live streams and some online classes. So this is your man, Coach Sambo, your freaking online B-Boy coach, breaking down BBoy Funt's crazy combos right here. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it. Stay safe. Keep training. Keep motivated. Don't get fat. Don't get lazy, because it's going to be a pain in the ass to get back to the usual state. Okay? So at the end of the day, guys, when you think about it, it's all about that B-Boy shit. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace and love. This is your man, Coach Sambo. Mwah. And don't forget, if you want to be like a Russian powerhead, then you must train every day in very cold environment, and every day also drinking 1 liter of blood from pocket. This blood from pocket straight sent to me by mail, and I drink for making better power move. All right, guys. Thank you. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Talk soon, and enjoy the rest of your day or evening or morning or whatever. Make it a productive day. All right. Peace. Are you having trouble going from a windmill to an air flare?
Whoa, how did you know, bro?
Well, I have really great news for you, because I will be showing you the smartest and most efficient way for you to learn that combo. So if you want to be able to go from a windmill to a 90, or a windmill to an air flare, or a windmill to whatever, just head on over to my YouTube channel, look for the windmill to handstand tutorial, and start putting in the work. And besides the windmill to handstand tutorial, you will find tons of other tutorials and breaking videos. So why waste time?
Take yourself to the next level.
Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, it's all